Blessed love to each and every one. Give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. The Honorable Priest Isaac here with you, and you're definitely in the nest, the tiger's nest. Just preparing ourselves for the shock of the hour, and I decided to just say a word or two to the YouTube family as it relates to, the Christmas story. And that is the question we're asking. Which Christmas story are you telling this year? Which rendition of the birth of Jesus are we using this time around? Whether it be in the Christmas plays, whether it's for the Sunday sermon or the Christmas Day sermon, pardon me, or whether it's just for when we gather around the Christmas table and we just have to talk about, the reason for the season. Which version of the story are we going to use? Because remember, it's a literal story, so we got to be clear. We don't want to mix up. I may come with one version and then you come with the other, and then, it's not going to look good. And some people are saying, what is he talking about? What do you mean, what am I talking about? I'm asking which version of the story are you going to use? And before I go into that, let me just say, as I said, we're going to be going into this evening in the shock of the hour in depth, and those who have never subscribed to our Shock of the Hour radio program, our nightly radio program, of course, all you have to do is to contact us via email, priestisaac27 at gmail.com. Now, in the book of Matthew, it clearly says that the wise men were looking for the Christ child. In fact, they followed the star, which means that they were astronomers. They knew how to read the heavens. Following a star doesn't mean they were walking behind this star. That's a satellite. That's some sort of UFO. No, but they understood the time and the astronomical clock and space and movements. So they knew that this was the hour. This was the moment for the birth of the Messiah. So they went forward and they went to Herod according to the scripture. And he told them, well, listen, man, when you find this young fella here, come back and let me know, But then it seems as if somebody really explained to Herod what's going on here. Like, hey, this is your chief nemesis, This is your enemy. This little man child that these fellas are going to look for. You don't want him to grow up old. He's going to crush your kingdom. Herod say, yeah? Hey, tell you what. Any baby around here 2 years and younger, off with their head. Am I telling the truth? Isn't it that what the Bible says, at least in the book of Matthew? Yeah. In fact, the Magi, they got a dream, they got a vision telling them, hey, don't go back to this fella here. Because this fella doesn't have anything good in mind for the young youth and even for you. So escape this way, tell the people them what's going on. And when Joseph and Mary got the news, in fact, an angel had to come and give them their own personal message and say, hey, they're looking to slew the young baby, yo. So you gotta flee. And according to that, they fled into the land of Egypt. And of course, many ones would know when you read the Bible and you read about the Christ story, there's a large gulf of time between the birth and when he returned about 30 years old for the 3 years worth of ministry that he did before he was crucified. So you may ask, so where was he all this time? You have other Gnostic books and other writings that said he was in China, he was in India, and he was learned just like Moses in all the ways of Egypt, which would be Kemet in this case here. But at least Matthew says that. Matthew says that as a baby, he went to Egypt for refuge, and he stayed there for a while. Everybody knows that Christ, the little baby Christ, went to Egypt. Out of Egypt I shall call my son. And he was there for a long while, and that is why people even bring up the whole concept of complexion, saying that if he could hide in Egypt, that means he would have had to have been the whole family as black as the people in Egypt, Yeah. But now the book of Luke now, Luke says after the birth of the baby Jesus, this is the book of Luke. Luke said that there was a census going through the land, and it was a time where you had to return to your native area within Israel, amongst your family, amongst your tribes. And it was basically mandatory for everybody to do. But whatever the case was, Joseph and Mary and the new baby, they went to Jerusalem. In fact, at Jerusalem, they got the blessings, and the child was blessed. And there were two individuals, according to the book of Luke, that were there, a man and a woman. I think the man's name was Simon. And they proclaimed that, hey, that child that you have there, that is the Messiah. And then Luke goes on to say that when they left Jerusalem, they went to Nazareth, where the little baby grew up. In fact, this is why he's considered Jesus, or Jesus of Nazareth, or the Nazarite, and these sort of different things that we use. So I'm saying now, so Luke, within the story of Luke, there's no place whatsoever for anybody running to Egypt. In fact, Luke makes it clear that after its birth, or his birth in Bethlehem, they were basically compelled to go to Jerusalem, which they did, where there were people there that witnessed the Christ being blessed and said, hey, that's the Messiah, man, we are talking about. And he was so accepted that they left Jerusalem and went straight to Nazareth, where the child grew up, to the point that the name has stuck to him, of Nazareth, Jesus of Nazareth. Now, I'm saying that Matthew's version is quite different than Luke's version. In fact, dramatically different. Because in Matthew's case, it's like a flight by night. It's like one of them cases where you're escaping on the darkness with a little baby just born, wah, wah. And they're looking to kill anybody 2 years old or younger. And they had to run to Egypt, and not just for the night. They couldn't go there just for a year. Man, they had to stay there for a while. We're talking at least a decade. Because how you going to come back in 3 years' time with a 3-year-old boy? Herod is going to say, so who is he? Y'all miss him, man. You know what I mean? Nah. So this had to have been a process that took some time. But Luke said, I ain't worried with Matthew. That's not how the story goes. Eh? No, man, after the child was born, they didn't run and go nowhere. In fact, he never traveled. They went straight to Jerusalem, because Joseph had to go back to, Jerusalem. And the child was blessed in the temple. Huh? Okay. So what, Herod didn't, in fact, when you check your history properly, and we have touched this before, this time frame wouldn't even have been the time of Herod. And the Christ left Jerusalem and went to Nazareth, where he grew up. So all I'm asking, man, I didn't really come to make your eggnog sour, man. I just came to get the facts straight. Which Christmas story are you gonna tell this year? But then again, this ain't no Christmas. Or maybe it's Christmas, Chris Kringlemas. It's more Xmas. The Christ is out of the whole mass. So basically, whether he went to Egypt, stayed in Jerusalem, grew up in Nazareth, to be honest, we don't even care about that. We dealing with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, and jolly old Saint Nick, who you think coming with a bag of gifts. He coming with an empty bag. He's leaving with the bag full. I mean, you don't get the vibes up to now. So religion and economics have us so much enslaved. And then now, as I said, we are so pathetically lost that even when I put something before you like what I just did, I mean, in reality, anybody that's really serious about their religion and their belief and their faith and their soul and life after death and the ever living and the everlasting and all of them things there, and you're basing yourself on scripture, Bible, the nativity story. If you're really serious, tell me which nativity story you're gonna use. Remember these same two characters that I just highlighted, Matthew and Luke, the both of them have two totally different genealogical chart as it relates to the the um, the lineage, the patriarch lineage of Christ, the lineage of Joseph, his supposed father. And there is an episode we did right here on YouTube. I think it's entitled Matthew and Luke, where we have covered that in depth, But this is just a snippet of what we will be covering tonight. We're not really doing Matthew and Luke as such, Like, as I said, the episode we did on YouTube. But for all the YouTube subscribers and the YouTube followers, if you have not watched that, I would advise you to take a look at that tonight. Now, if you think this video is too short, go and watch that. Matthew and Luke on our channel, Honorable Priest Isaac. And I mean, I'll go more in depth, even in the whole difference between the lineage, the family chart, and how Eusebius and all of these characters try to, fix it up. I mean, it's just a whole heap of mix up and quagmire. But then again, this is why my black souls, my ebonite people, we always highlight the importance of understanding allegory. That's how we always wrote, even our history we put down in allegory. So this is a deep study in science that we are definitely engaged in, So it's not really mockery, when I say which story you're using. In fact, it's not even nothing complicated to me. It's not like I'm saying, wow, look at the difference here. And I totally understand what's going on. We've covered this many times, not this specific subject, direct topic as such, but just the whole concept of the esoteric and the hidden writings, and taking allegory and trying to make it as literal as you can. That will bring a total confusion to the theory, to the theology, to the religion, and whatever else you are promoting. So yeah, remember, if you want to subscribe to the nightly radio program, The Shock of the Hour, all you have to do is to email us, Priest Isaac. Now is the right time, man. PriestIsaac27 at gmail.com, PRIEST27. We will put the link in the description. 27 at gmail.com, PriestIsaac27 at gmail.com. And remember, we have the monthly subscription. You can get a 6-month subscription, yearly subscription, and the higher the time frame goes, obviously you will save more, So just contact us and start receiving the programs from today. And of course, even on YouTube, make sure you put on the notification button. These videos will be coming fast and furious, man. So you gotta definitely be ready for them, rapid fire. So give thanks, life giver and the keeper of life, Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah Rastafari, blessed love.